Garden eels secrete a special kind of mucus from these sorts of cells. I could show you anything right here, couldn't I? I mean, these are the actual cells, but let's be honest. It doesn't really matter, does it? Anyway, this mucus binds...
Why doesn't it matter? The truth matters. It's just not the point. I've said the point is to live a meaningful life, but I think the truth is necessary to get to the meaningful life. It's a necessary step to get to the point. You know, my ex told me a lot of half-truths. I let him get away with so much because I didn't have the courage to hold him accountable and to press a little bit and ask him questions. He would come home late. He would hang out behind the shed on his phone. And that turned into telling me stuff like he was going out with his friends and, oh, this chick he used to have a crush on who's back in town is going to be there. And that's how you end up cheated on. And that pales in comparison to what I've heard has happened to other women. And it's not even just a relationship thing. It's a work thing too. It can apply to across the board. I've definitely didn't acknowledge red flags when they turned up at jobs. You know, that this was not going to be a good job, or that people were looking to sabotage me and get me fired. Sometimes for no other reason than like I was the new young pretty girl and they didn't like the attention I was getting. Neither did I like the attention I was getting. But that didn't matter to them. So I mean, how can you fault me for expecting you to look me in the eye and give me full explanations? Really, how can you fault me for that? I'm a woman. What were you expecting? It reminds me of this movie called The Way of the Gun. It's an okay movie, but it has a great line in it. And the line is towards the beginning of the movie. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's like I'm kind of, you know what? I'm just going to talk to Zay. I kind of go back and forth between talking to Zay and then talking to like everybody else who I think might be watching this, but let's just have a conversation with Zay. So, in case you haven't seen the movie, it's like this mafia boss guy, and he's married to this super hot chick who's a piece of work, who can't be bothered to carry her own baby, so they use a surrogate mother. And the surrogate mother she's very far along, and you can tell she's sort of having reservations. And the mob boss guy, for being what he was incredibly insightful and observant, and came off as very empathetic and understanding. And sat her down at one point and asked her, how she was doing with all of this, how she was feeling about the whole situation. And the surrogate mother, she was played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus. So I like her. She's a great actress. So she's like, yeah, no, I think your wife's going to be a great mother. And it's like, if you see even one scene of the wife, like she's a trophy wife. If you see even one scene of with her, it's like, wow, no, please, no one give that woman children. Please don't do it. But it turns out not to be her kid anyway. So, anyway. Yeah, so she plays tough. The surrogate mom, she's like, everything's gonna be great. I'm sure she'll be a great mother, and so on and so forth. She puts on a tough face, and he sees right through it, and he realized she was just playing at being tough with the whole situation. And the line is just I don't know, it just pops up in my mind once in a while. He says, he basically like brushes off her comments and goes, no. He says, a woman needs security like a man needs approval. She wants her past, present, and future accounted for all the time. And yeah, I think that is the case. A woman, mind you, not a girl. Girls are like, woo, I don't care what the fuck happens tomorrow. Bring on Armageddon. Let's fuck. I want to party down in Cancun and whatever. Or he seems mysterious. Ooh, he's got a motorcycle. I wonder if we'll get married. No, that's not going to happen, honey. Anyway. How can you fault me for expecting straight answers from you? It feels like half-truths. That's one of the things that I think differentiates girls from women, by the way, is, a girl hasn't really been through the ringer with dudes yet. But if she gets one or two relationships under her belt, I mean, it'd be nice. I hear about it once in a while. A girl's first love in like high school or early college. And they get married and have babies, and it's just amazing life. I hear about it. I'm sure it happens once in a while, but it feels like it's just not happening enough. So, yeah, a girl hasn't been through the ringer yet with men, so she doesn't know to hold them accountable. She's going into it, thinking everything that Disney sold her on, that he's Prince Charming, he's going to sweep her off her feet to some castle and that he'll never lie to her, except maybe about how big her butt looks. And he'll never cheat on her, and she'll never catch him staring at some young girl's ass. Little girls, I've seen these too. I've seen 60 some odd old year old little girls. That's my ex's mom, actually. Was. An old lady little girl who didn't ask questions. She just lived in a fantasy. She didn't press, she didn't press her son for answers about like, hey, why are you still living with me after all this time? Yeah. That's not pretty. Girls lie to themselves and they tell themselves fantasies and they don't hold men accountable because they don't know that they should. And that's what leads to mothers keeping their sons at home with them for far too long and not making them go out into the world and live a life. That's what leads to women coming home to find her husband in bed with, I don't know, her best friend, some random prostitute half her age, maybe even her own daughter. And that's how she gets the short end of the stick. And or realizes that she was complacent or even supportive of a situation where her child was being taken advantage of, or she took advantage of her own child. Because she didn't want to ask questions or push or press or hold a man accountable or seem uncute for a little while. How can you fault me for expecting real explanations? That's also how chicks get fired from their jobs, because they found out that, or were, ignoring the fact that they were making note of telltale signs that two of her older boss lady co-workers were very jealous of all the attention she was getting from the male co-workers and the male customers. Oh my gosh. My last day there, I kid you not, a customer came in through the door, walked up to the service desk where I was, and one of the chicks who I just knew hated me for no reason. I'd given her no reason. I even drew like a little sketch of her to try to break the ice, and she practically like sneered at it. But soon as this customer came up to the desk, she starts going, "Hi, sir, how can I help you?" And he just breezes right past her and goes, "Oh, no, bitch, you ugly." And walked up to me, and I was just like, "No, please. She already hates me." And also, I'm working on something. That was the biggest bummer. It was like, y'all might think it's cool to be a reasonably attractive chick. I'm not. I don't consider myself to be. I'm reasonably attractive. So it's not always cool. Even like dudes be thinking like, oh, they use their looks to get by at work and shit. It's like, no, actually, I prefer dudes not to notice me at work, because a lot of my jobs have been like, I have tasks I need to get done. There's some customer service involved, but I'd rather be doing tasks and not dealing with too many people. And this job in particular, I would be given important tasks, things that had to get done in a certain period of time. My job was not really customer service, but I had to sort of help a customer once in a while if they came up to me specifically and asked for something. And it just like, I was just so annoyed by that. A guy would come in and breeze past 3, 4, 5 other employees that were standing around doing nothing, just chatting with each other, and walk right up to me, and I'm like juggling lumber or some shit, or all kinds of merchandise, sometimes even like, I don't know, moving a refrigerator. This was my Home Depot job, for anyone who... I'm sorry, I'm still kind of talking to an audience, aren't I? I don't know, yeah, it's kind of hard not to... talk to have some separation there. It's hard to talk to you as if you're a person, because I've never seen you in real life as a person. As far as I know, you could be AI. Seriously. But yeah. It's also the Peter Pan and Wendy thing. I mean, this is how he lost Wendy, isn't it? She started to grow up, and she realized that Never Neverland was not enough for her. And that place was half-truths, wasn't it? Oh, Mom. She's asking me about the cat. My cat's been sick for a few days. He's getting better, but now I can't use this video because you'll see her freaking phone number. Whatever. Yeah, sure. Send her spam texts. This is the third time I've made this video, alright? The last time it just straight up didn't record anything. Or it didn't, something went wrong with the technology, and it just... I know it was recording for a good while, but it just didn't save the video. And... fuck that shit. Fuck it. I'm done. And this is not the first time I've had to, where it's like my mom's texted me while I'm making a video. And it's like, fuck, this was a good one. This was a good one, and now I have to remake it because you just texted me out of the blue. I haven't heard from you in like a week, but... which I'm not complaining about. But it's always at the Worst fucking moments. Get out of here, you dirty ducks. They don't even give a fuck. They're just ignoring me. I'm sorry. I've been meaning to say, and that's a terrible way to start it. Maybe I shouldn't apologize. I'm sorry, I'm an asshole. I'm sorry I've been making fun of your butt stuff. I'll stop. I'm taking it too far. So I noticed the 6 cats and the cat falling. I'll make a little video about that. Just for the crowd. Because, you know, I have to show them evidence. Thank you for the suggestions. I don't think that they are... Oh, they're coming for me. I don't think that they are, Arlo. Oh, my kitten might have gone outside. I have to track him down. No, okay, beautiful. He's napping in the bathroom. Okay. Sorry, ADHD brain. I don't know that any of that stuff's gonna work. Like, does it reinstill your hope for the future? Because you know where all this is coming from, for the most part. The venom I've been spitting at you is a sense of hopelessness. I think that I've gotten along the way of all this. I'm really not sure how to get that back. My tarot cards were saying that for a while in the beginning of the year, they were telling me that you wanted me as some kind of an apprentice, you and Jody, or student or something. 3 of Pentacles, I think it was, kept cropping up. To which I kept thinking, I don't know how I can apprentice or do anything with people I can't trust. Other than, I don't know, share the sidewalk with them, maybe. Now it's saying, the cards are telling me that you view me as a missed opportunity. Opportunity for what? Opportunity for what, say? Opportunity to take advantage of someone, or use them, or was it something I would have found positive? What kind of a missed opportunity was there with Thomas Pallone, Tristany Nicole? After that, I don't know how you could expect me to trust you. And no explanations. You don't have the bravery or the integrity to look me in the eye and give me the explanations I'm asking for. Come here, buddy. Perseus. The truth matters. And all I'm seeing with these videos you're making are half-truths. And I've already done that. I've already played that game. No thank you. I'm a woman, dude. No self-respecting woman. We might have a little girl inside of us still, but no self-respecting woman is going to let that little girl just take the reins. So yeah. I always feel like there's something else I wanted to say, and then I just draw these long blanks. I'm going back on my Adderall, I think. I need to do something different. Tried quitting smoking. I just laid around in bed and ate. It's like a reason to get up in the morning other than feeding my cats, because I'll feed my cats and just go lay right back down in bed. I try to get excited about even pointing you people out, because at one point I had hope that I could get you caught. But now I don't know. I deserve real answers. If you don't think that, then I don't know what else we have to talk about.